Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Heroes Reborn Season 1, Episode 1 and 2. So, as you guys know, I am a humongous Heroes fan. It is my favorite show of all time. I know there's some lackluster seasons, but it is my favorite show of all time. And as you guys know, my username for YouTube is Hayden Claire Heroes, because Claire is one of my favorite TV characters of all time, and was my favorite character on Heroes. So, of course, knowing that Claire wasn't going to be in the show, I was like, alright, let's see why she's not in the show. So let's explain what happened in these two episodes. Of course, there will be spoilers in this review if you have not seen Heroes Reborn yet. So, with this episode, we get to meet the new heroes, mostly. There's some old faces in these two episodes, and we're going to see more old faces, but it's mostly about meeting the new heroes. We have Tommy, who's a high schooler, and wants to hide, so it's pretty much the male version of Claire Bennett. And then you have, I don't know all their names yet, so Katana Girl, who is, who can go into video games, and that's her power, and her father's lost in this video game, so she wants to save her father. Another person, which I don't know his name, but he's from Mexico, and his brother also has powers, and he was this, like, vigilante, and now he has to decide, am I a vigilante, what am I? So that's another character. And also, of course, HRG, which is the big main character here. And Noah trying to start a new life. He has another name. I mean, how many times has he changed his name already? He has a new life. He's not wearing his glasses anymore because in this universe, in this world, Claire is dead. And he doesn't really remember much about the day, but he's realizing, oh no, someone wiped my memories, and I don't really know why. And he finds out that the Haitian wiped away his memories for a reason. So he killed the Haitian by accident. So that kind of sucks. But HRG finds this other guy who's also curious about who's taking away powered people. So they're working together to try to find Molly. So if you remember Molly, she was like an 8-year-old girl who could find heroes, or Evos, as they call them here. Other characters, you have Zachary Levi's character, who was a father of an Evo, and the boy died on that night, or that day, of the Odessa bombing. And now he's going out for revenge for some reason, which I don't think that's been fully explained, but revenge. So we're getting to see that also. So really it's the lead up of course, meeting our new heroes and also learning what happened on the day of the Odessa bombing. So what did I think? And I'm going to talk about both episodes as a whole, the premiere as a whole. Well, first I'll say that the first episode I thought was a bit slow. And in talking about the new heroes, my favorite being Robbie K, because I'm a sucker for the teenage heroes, of course. And even though I feel like a lot of these heroes are shells of heroes we've already seen in the show, I liked Robbie K's character. He's not popular, so at least that's something different from Claire. He's a guy, so that's something different. But there's a lot of similarities at the same time. Like, oh, you have this kind of secret keeper, like Zach was, with this girl, which I hope the twist is that she has powers too. I would really like that twist, and see that other people are discovering their powers too, because it seems like everyone knows about their powers, and it'd be kind of cool to see, like, someone just get their powers. I think that was kind of the amazing part of Heroes in Season 1, was seeing how people dealt with having powers and realizing that they're having powers. So it'd be kind of cool to see a character just get their powers, because everyone's had their powers for a while on these new cast members, or for these new cast members. So I really like Robbie K's character. I really like his story. So he's probably my favorite so far. But again, I'm a sucker for the teenage stories. The other characters, I think the problem, well, first of all, like I said, these characters are very much shells of characters we've already known, and kind of origin in places we've already seen. Like Mexico kind of remind me of the Maya story, yeah, Maya, which was in Season 2. And then we had Japan, obviously, is making you think about Hero, and then you had, like, this Ando-type character there. So even though they are different characters, they feel like shells of the characters we once knew. I guess the different, and also even one of the characters has kind of like Sylar powers, and he kind of feels like Sylar except less psychopathic. But I will say in episode 2 things start to pick up because we're getting a little bit more about this world. Is Claire dead? Let's talk about that for a second. Because one of the convoluted parts I thought in the beginning was like, oh, okay, how's Claire dead? Because in an explosion especially, because she can't die. Like, there's so many reasons she should not be dead. So now we find out that this whole show is going to be the journey of finding out how Claire actually died, and hopefully didn't die, because it doesn't make sense if she did. It may be HRG wiped his memories for that reason, to kind of forget that Claire's alive. It's happened before, okay? So I hope, I mean, that's me as a Claire fan that just wants to see Claire, and I know Hayden said she wanted to do the show, but I also went to the San Diego Comic-Con panel, and Tim Kring said they only brought back the people that they felt fit for the story. And they said that they announced everybody, but technically they didn't, because Molly was in the show, and they did not announce that Molly was going to be back. So I'm hoping end of the season we find out Claire is alive. I think that would be the biggest twist of the show, or not, because I'm guessing it, but hey, twist, come on. Let's see Claire alive. So I think that was the biggest problem, just like, it doesn't really connect. You're just making HRG have these emotions and go through this journey where your mythos that you built in the previous show doesn't really make sense of how Claire died. I don't know. So hopefully they explain that throughout the season. But it was fun to see HRG back and kind of be the same guy he usually is, where he just really lies all the time. He has a Sandra type person in his life, which he kind of just leaves for some reason. So I'm sure she'll come back into the story. Maybe we'll see Sandra again. But yeah, so I think the show has potential. I love that Molly was back. I really thought that was a nice twist, even though, like, before the reveal happened, I'm like, that's Molly, of course. She's a bit older than I expected, but that's Molly. And a little bit different than I expected, you know? So I'm excited to see more Molly. I thought she was really cool. But yeah, I think one thing this premiere was lacking was connection to the new characters for me. I mean, when you see Heroes Episode 1, the original pilot, which is, I think, one of the best pilots there are, in my opinion, you connect to these characters right away, because it's a bit more of a grounded show, and I think newcomers of the show are going to be really, 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 really confused with this show, because the whole point that Heroes got canceled is because it got too much into itself. The story kind of, it just kept having layers and layers and layers and got more confusing. And I have a feeling that's the direction Heroes Reborn's going in. It's just a lot of story, a lot of origin stuff you need to know. And I know, obviously, that's superheroes, and I'm a comic book reader, so I know that, but I don't know if the regular viewer is gonna handle that, and that's why Heroes got canceled in the first place. So I kind of wish this pilot was a bit more grounded, like the pilot of the original Heroes TV show. So that is a big complaint, and maybe that's why I didn't feel connected to these other heroes. So, yeah, I need more connection to these new characters. Balance the old characters well. They did it pretty well here. The Haitian was well done, added there. HRG was well added. Molly was really well added, and hopefully everyone else will be too. And I'm glad that Mohinder did a narration in the end. That was perfect. I was waiting in the beginning we're going to get a Mohinder narration, but we got it in the end of episode 1. So I was cool with that. So yeah, I'm still uncertain about the show. It didn't blow my mind, the episodes, but I think it does have potential as a Heroes fan. And hopefully there's a lot of twists and turns. That's what I'm hoping. Hopefully the Odessa days explained a bit more, because I understand it's like kind of the World's Fair of Evo people, but I didn't feel like the reasoning of going there was explained. Like, it didn't feel hyped up, the event. So they need to make that a little bit better. They need to explain that more. So some of the mystery stuff is actually the problem of these episodes. Is like, I know you're holding back because you're leaving mystery, but at the same time you need to explain some stuff for us to really get excited about these stories. So it's just kind of a balance they need to find. But yeah, I thought it was an okay beginning. There's definitely a good twist and turns, some good returns of characters. I thought the Katana Girl's powers was a bit weird with going into a video game. When I first saw her go to video game, I was like, what? What just happened? So some of the powers are different, which is good, and some of them are pretty much the same as what we've seen, flight, telekinesis, which is fine, you know, that's the hero's world. But yeah, that was a really strange power, and I don't know how that's going to fit into the hero's story, but hopefully it will. And it looked like Hero's sword, too, so we'll see how that connects. Yeah, if you're a Heroes fan, watch it, definitely. But I wasn't blown away by the 2 episodes, but I do think it has potential. Also, guys, we do have a Media Madness episode coming up right now, and maybe if you're watching this later, go check out Comic Frontline, where we're going to have a huge discussion about Heroes Reborn, and like an hour-long discussion, so please check that out. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there's links from my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. Don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter, and don't forget to check out the Kickstarter for Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.